It was the year 2011 and only one wing coaster by B&M was in operation. Theme parks in the United States were already jumping at the bit to build one on their property. Well, Dollywood became the lucky winner as Wild Eagle opened early spring of 2012, beating out X-Flight located at Six Flags Great America to be the first wing coaster to open in the United States, by B&M of course. For a couple years, it seemed as if every Six Flags Cedar Fair park would be hammering for one of these styles of coasters, but almost as fast as they arrived, the concept fizzled out in the United States. A grand total of 4 wing coasters have been put into operation across North America, and shockingly, not a single one is a clone design. I wouldn't say the concept is dead, it just didn't take off like many of us expected it would. As of right now, I've ridden 3 out of the 4 wing coasters, still trying to get to Six Flags Great America. If the park opens in 2021, I will be making a trip to Six Flags Great America to check that coaster out. Alright, let's get to today's review. Presentation. Wild Eagle is situated in the back of the park, located near Tennessee Tornado and Fire Chaser Express. The station is located at the base of a hill, as the first lift and remaining portion of the ride takes place at the top of the hill. The ride itself has some theming, but not much. The trains are the most themed aspect of the ride. Each car of every train is designed to look like an eagle, with the riders seated on the wings, of course. What really sells this attraction is its location. As I mentioned, the lift travels up the side of a hill. The roller coaster stays on top of this hill, towering over all the other attractions in that section of the park. The view from the first drop is pretty impressive, but what I really enjoy about the presentation aspect of this coaster is how well the ride has adapted into the forest. You may be located in the middle of the park, but with all the trees surrounding you, it feels as if you left the property after the first drop. With each passing year, the trees continue to grow and cover up this coaster from the rest of the park. Presentation earns a 9 rating. Ride intensity. After making a left turn out of the station, Wild Eagle starts its 210-foot climb up the side of the mountain. Unlike the majority of wing coasters, Wild Eagle doesn't start off with a dive drop. B&M went with a traditional forward drop. It's actually my favorite first drop on the wing coasters, as riding in the back row will deliver some excellent airtime. After swooping down the 135-foot drop, Wild Eagle hits its max speed of 61 miles per hour, instantly flying right back up into a vertical loop. This inversion is intense and the only moment of the ride where I actually grayed out. Wild Eagle features 4 inversions, and they are all back-to-back. From the loop, riders are instantly sent into a 0G roll, always a good inversion, and this one on Wild Eagle is no different. Next, it's an Immelman, then followed by a corkscrew. After completing the final inversion, Wild Eagle travels into an airtime hill, but honestly, I don't remember much airtime from this element. The coaster finishes out with this figure 8 element. The part of the ride feels as if they were simply trying to drag out the length of the ride without adding any real excitement. Once you complete that final corkscrew, the rest of the ride is basically filler right up until you find yourself sitting on the brake run. When looking over the coaster lineup at Dollywood, I would argue that Wild Eagle is the second most intense coaster in the park. Every inversion on this roller coaster is hard-hitting, pulling some decent Gs. Unfortunately, the other elements don't match that same level, but since the majority of the ride is the inversions, Wild Eagle gets itself a reputable 8 score for ride intensity. Fun factor. If you're looking for airtime, ride Lightning Rod because this coaster isn't about the airtime. Now, with that said, Wild Eagle has a great moment of airtime with that first drop. It's a solid dose of ejector airtime, but only if you're riding in the back row. The rest of the ride is about inversions and flying over the trees. Another feature that is lacking on Wild Eagle is the near misses. Wing coasters seem to have that one moment where you feel like you're about to crash into the side of a wall, structure, tree, whatever. Wild Eagle might get you close to a couple supports, but nothing like you would find on Gatekeeper or Thunderbird. It's a sorely missed element that may leave you wanting. Fun factor gets a 7.5. Originality. Wild Eagle may be the first B&M wing coaster in the United States, but it was the third to open worldwide. Wild Eagle also features one of the most unoriginal layouts of the bunch. The 4 inversions feel right out of the B&M playbook. It's vertical loop, 0G roll, Immelman corkscrew. It's the same pattern of inversions we've seen from Talon, Patriot, and Black Mamba. And also there's plenty of other B&M coasters that feature these 4 inversions but in a different order. The biggest thing Wild Eagle has going for itself is the wing coaster aspect. It was still relatively new in 2012, and its location was something different. But in the end, a score of 7 sounds more than generous for this category. Ride smoothness. Wing coasters seem to suffer from the B&M rattle, and Wild Eagle is no exception. Some rides, my experience was glossy smooth, while others, I was left with a minor headache. The vest restraints will prevent you from bashing your head off the strap, but you'll still get dociled around if you happen to get some of that B&M rattle. Ride smoothness gets an 8.5. Alright, the final score comes to 8, which is considered a great score. Wild Eagle isn't a top-tier coaster, but a solid B-ranked coaster, which is exactly what the score seems to indicate. Your average park goer is going to be wowed by the wing aspect, but for coaster enthusiasts, this ride won't be riding high on your bucket list. My personal score is going to be a 7. To me, the only element worth experience is that first drop. I love the airtime moment, it's just a shame that the rest of the ride doesn't get me back into those same highs as that first drop. I might sound like I'm putting down Wild Eagle, which I might be a little, but by no means am I calling this a bad coaster. Wild Eagle is basically the vanilla ice cream of B&Ms. It's basically nothing overly special, but in the end, you're still eating ice cream, which is always a plus. Well, that concludes my review of Wild Eagle. What do you think of this wing coaster? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. That way you'll continue to get great content coming your way by Extreme Thrills.